Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope this week treats you well, and if you aren't feeling under the weather, then I wish you a speedy recovery. I wish you all the best, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. I also wanted to take this moment to thank you for 100 subscribers. It is great. It's genuinely great. I didn't imagine getting 100 subscribers in just 1 month. I just started with my YouTube channel and you guys showered me with love and support, and that means a lot. And my last video got a lot of views. It got 1,000 views, and that just, I was very happy to know that there are people out there who genuinely like my videos, and thank you so much for all your support. And I do read all of your comments, so do let me know anything else if you want me to talk about. If you do love reading books a lot, or if you want few book reviews, do send me some of the books through the Amazon wishlist, which is on my Instagram profile. You can check in my bio for the link for the Amazon wishlist. So you can send me books and I can read them and review if you want that. And yes, without any further delay, let's get started with the video. So today's video, I will be talking about what to do when you feel unmotivated to read. So what to do when you feel like you've hit a reading slump. So it's been 2 weeks since I've actually sat and read properly, and I personally have hit a reading slump, and I wanted to give you a few recommendations that helped me in the past to get out of a reading slump. And I'm also going to give myself a few recommendations to help myself get out of a reading slump. So if you or I on the same boat, then let's begin with this journey of book recommendations, and hope that you finally are able to connect with the book and finally find peace in chaos. So let's get started with the book recommendations. So currently I've been reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and it's just been, I'm on chapter 2 now, and I don't know, I haven't been feeling so motivated to read this. So maybe I need to take a break from this book and recommend myself a few books that I think will help me get out of this reading slump. But before that, I'm just gonna drink it. I love orange juice. I love orange juice. Anyways, so these are a few books that I have recommended myself to get out of the reading slump. So the first one is Sweet Bean Paste by Dorian Sukegawa. So this book is a Japanese novel, and I don't know what really this book is about, but I like the vibes of it. And it's a very short book. So if you ever want to get out of a reading slump, it's best to start with a book that's not really thick. And this book is about 600 pages, and it's pretty thick. So it's not the best book to get out of a reading slump. So I decided to recommend myself books that are just 300 pages maximum. So this book is about 200 pages, and it's a Japanese novel, and I have had good experiences with Japanese novels before. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should start with this book and see if it helps me connect with books again. So this Sweet Bean Paste by Dorian Sukegawa is on my list to get out of the reading slump. And then the next one is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. So this book, I think, is a love story. It's a romantic novel, I think. And I have no idea what really goes on in this book, because I haven't really read the blurb. I just went with the cover page, and I know you shouldn't be judging a book by its cover, but come on, it has a cafe, and sometimes it's good to judge a book by its cover, because you don't know, it might actually turn out to be good. Yeah. And so this book is actually set in a cafe, and I think it's about two people sharing a notebook. Maybe, you know, leaving a notebook on the table and the other person finds a notebook, and they sort of communicate through that notebook, as far as I can understand from the blurb. So I think it's a very nice, very sweet setting for a book, and I think this was going to help me get out of this reading slump that I've been stuck in for a while. So yes, I hope this does its magic. And the next one are two Virginia Woolf's books. So basically this is like hardcore literature, I think. So I like Virginia Woolf, I like Sylvia Plath, and I like Ted Hughes. If you know, you know what I mean. So Virginia Woolf books, these are very well-known books, and I was like, why not start reading these two well-known books to get out of the reading slump? Because firstly, look at how thin these books are. Each of them, this book is I think about 100 pages, and this book must be about 200 pages. So why not? I like Virginia Woolf. I've always liked reading her short stories in my English literature classes, and I'm sure I'm going to be loving these books. And look at the cover pages, they're beautiful, right? And it's Virginia Woolf, so why not? So I'm hoping that these two books do its magic. And the next one is on Earth. I feel like my nose is kind of blocked, so if you just see me make weird expressions like this or something, then just ignore, because I've been trying to breathe. Anyways, so the next book is On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Wong. So I think this is a book about a boy writing letters to his mother. So a mother who cannot read. So that's going to be a very, 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 very emotional book, I'm pretty sure. And Wong is also a poet, I think, and I've heard a lot about his writing style, his poems, and apparently this book is very poetic too. So why not? So poet writes in book. How poetic is this going to be? How creative is this going to be? And the cover page is so beautiful, it's gorgeous. So I'm pretty sure this is also going to help me get out of my reading slump. So it's about 230 pages, so I think I'm in for it. So these are the recommendations that I have given to myself, and I will make another video and let you know if these books have actually helped me get out of the reading slump, and I'm going to give you a genuine review of all these books that I've just mentioned. So without any further delay, let's get into the recommendations that I have curated for you from my collection that I genuinely think has helped me throughout my reading journey. So I want to recommend you a few books that I think will help you get out of your reading slump. So these are a few books that I want to recommend. I've read these books, so I'm going to review them right now. I'm going to convince you that these books are genuinely going to help you get out of this feeling of this reading slump. So these are few books, if not all, at least I hope one of these books will help you for sure. So let's get into it. So if you're not in a mood for a fiction or a non-fiction, then I have a perfect book for you called Love for Imperfect Things by Heyman Sunim. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. It's actually written by a Korean monk, and his writing is so lovely, so simple, so beautiful. I mean, it feels like you're literally having a conversation with him through this book, you know. So beautiful, so beautiful. It's like a complete experience. It's like a peaceful experience when you read this. So it comes under a self-help category. So it's not like other self-help books. Usually self-help books are blunt, and they tell you they help you understand how to make goals, right? How to be career focused, how to have a schedule, how to be very focused in life, or all that. And there are books that share personal anecdotes, some examples of what happened to famous people and how they struggled and did better. And there are many examples, so many such examples in these self-help books, right? So this book does have few anecdotes, but it's not about, you know, how you need to focus on career, how you need to have goals. It's basically about understanding yourself, accepting yourself. It's very beautiful, and it's written in small quotes, you know. It's written like this, so you're going to feel completely connected with it. So you're not going to be lost in between, you know, while reading it, or you're not going to get bored while reading this. And it has some beautiful images to help you connect with the quotes or what the monk is trying to say. So it's very beautiful, and I think I was at peace while reading it. I genuinely loved it. I'm not a fan of self-help books, but this book was really good, and it really helped me understand, you know, it really helped me be a little grateful, you know, towards people, towards life, towards myself. And yeah, so I think you must start with this book if you don't feel like reading any fiction or non-fiction, or not the hardcore self-help books. You know, if you just want something casual, something peaceful, then this book is for you. And if you're a non-reader, then this book is perfect for you. So the next up on my list is The Honest Truth by Dan Gemmenhart. So if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, please forgive me. Some names are genuinely difficult to pronounce. So this book actually is a children's book, but I think even an adult should read it. It's very cute. Firstly, it's going to help you get out of your reading slump like this, because it's a very short book. It's very cutely written, very simple language. I actually read it when I was in 6th grade, or maybe more. I think I was in 7th. So my school had a scholastic fair, and I actually liked the book because of the cover page. But then I checked the storyline of the book, and I fell in love with the storyline, and I thought, you know what, I should read this book because it was famous back then, and I fell in love with it. So it's about a kid named Mark. He has got a dog named Bo. His dream is basically to climb a mountain. So this kid's dream is basically to climb a mountain. So he takes his dog with him on this journey. And it's a beautiful story about a kid and his dog and the relationship between them. So if you're a dog lover, then you should read it. And don't worry about it being a children's book or anything. I think anyone can read this. It's a very beautiful book, and they're very simply written. It has few haikus too, so I like that part of it too. So yes, I think this book will really help you. Read it and do let me know in the comments if you liked it. And the next one is a very famous one. I think you must have seen it everywhere. So this book, Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Firstly, I liked the concept of it, but I thought that it could have gone more deeper into it. But I think it goes deeper into the other books of the series. So it's actually a book series. Well, start with this book, and if you do like this book, then go with the other books from the series, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. So there were a lot of questions while I read this book. I was left with a lot of questions, but again, I haven't read the books from the series, so I cannot really judge this book. So I should give it a chance by reading the other books. But I think if you're in a reading slump, this will help you, because firstly, it's a Japanese novel. It's set in a cafe, it's small cozy cafe. It's a story about people in a cafe who come in a cafe just to get another chance to be with the person from their past. It's I think the concept was pretty good, but I had a few questions, actually a lot of questions, but I don't want to spoil it. So I think you should go give this a chance like I did, and it was not so bad as I thought it would be, because that's what some popular books do with you, right? But yes, this book is good, and I think you will like it. It's actually mixed feelings, but I think the other books from the series are very good, and I would love it if you could give it a chance, like I would do. I would definitely give this book another chance, and I think you're genuinely gonna love it. So keep this on your list. Do let me know if you have read it. Actually, I would like to know your thoughts on this book. So yeah. So the next book, I think I've spoken about this book a lot of times on my channel. So this book is Days at the Moraki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa, translated by Eric Ozawa. So this book is set in a bookstore. So if you are a book lover, if you love books, and if you want to visit a small town in Japan, so give this book a read. It's such a pleasant read. It was so beautiful. It just literally transported me to that bookshop in that small town in Japan. I would actually give this book a very high rating because this book was so peaceful. Really, I really loved it. It was so smooth. The writing was so beautiful, and the storyline was very good. It was very peaceful. The ending was nothing wow or nothing out of the box. It was just peaceful. I think the ending was perfect the way it was, you know. I think it was very perfectly the start to end, the book was perfect. You know, it had a good flow. I think you're really gonna love this. So please give it a read. And the cover page is also so beautiful, and it just describes the book perfectly. So I would highly recommend this book. I was completely transported. I felt peaceful while reading this, and I'm sure this is gonna get you out of a reading slump. So this is not a book with a lot of crazy changes or plot twists or anything. It's just a book that will help you feel grounded, feel peaceful. So I must say, give this book a shot. Really, give this book a shot. Definitely give it a shot. Next book is The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. I think I've also spoken about this book on my previous videos too. This book is actually an Italian novel written by Elena Ferrante, and it is translated by Anne Goldstein. So this book has a plot twist. This book is very good. It's different to what I've usually read. It's about a mother who's gone to the beach side in Italy to just get away from life for a bit. So she has a difficult relationship with her daughters, I think, and her husband too. I think she's a divorcee in this book. I read it a while back, so I just don't remember the plot as much, but I remember loving it very much. Her kids live in Canada with their father, and she's all alone in Italy, so she just wanted some break from life and all the stresses and whatever she's going through in her home life. So she goes to one of the beach side to just take a break, and then she meets a family there, and there is a whole story with that. So I think there's a plot twist in the end, and the end was a little surprising. Why? So there's a movie on this, I think, an Italian movie, so I think I'm gonna watch it for sure. Elena Ferrante's writing is wonderful, very simple, very direct, all to the point. So I think you should give it a read, and it's a very short book. I completed this book in a day, in just few hours. So if you're a slow reader like me, you're definitely going to complete this book in just 3 hours. It's very engaging. It's a little strange too, but you're going to love it for sure. So I highly recommend this book because I loved it. I genuinely loved it. I felt wow after reading it. So give this a shot. And when you do read it, please let me know what you thought about this book, because I want to have a conversation with people who have read this book. Yeah, I so want to discuss this book with people. So do let me know how you found this book on the comments below. So the next book is actually a fantasy novel. So I have not read many fantasy books. I've just started getting into fantasy novels, and I've also got a few recommendations from you guys on my previous videos about fantasy books. So I've put it on my TBR, so I'm going to give it a read for sure. So I have a few books on my list right now. So firstly, I'm going to read the books that I have recommended myself to get out of the reading slump, and then I'm going to start reading all the books that I've already have on my TBR, and then gonna start focusing on all the fantasy books that you guys have recommended. So I'm really looking forward to it, because the fantasy books that I've been reading is from a series that I've started this year and I've completely fallen in love with. So this is the first book of the series that I've fallen in love with. So this book, A Coat of Thorns and Roses, is a fantasy novel by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my god, it's such a beautiful book. Firstly, this book is the first book of the series, and I've read 3 books now. The first one, and there are 2 others that I've read, and there are 2 more left. So I'm reading the 4th book very slow, because I don't want to get out of this Sarah J. Maas universe at the moment. I just want to fall in love with the characters more and more. It's like I'm attached to the characters from the series, and I don't want to let it go. So I'm reading it very, very slow. So I'm on the 4th book now, and I'm just going to read it when I feel like I'm ready to slowly let go of that world, because I'm really, really attached to the entire series. I'm totally in love with it. And you must read this book if you want to fall in love with the other books. The other books are even better than this, but I think you of course need to read the first book to read the other books from the series. So give this book a shot, please. It starts a bit slow, so don't give up there. Continue reading it, and then it picks up like this, and then you're gonna be like, whoa. So it's a beautiful series. And the second book, oh my god, I mean, the second book is the best. So far I found the second book the best. So good. So yeah, and it is romantasy, it is. I didn't know there was a word called romantasy until recently, when I was looking at Bookstagram and booktok accounts. I was like, oh, so that's what it is called, romantasy. So this is a romantasy novel. Of course, a fantasy book is nothing without romance, right? A book without romance is a bit sad, I think. No, not really, because all the books that I've mentioned here are not really romantic books. But yeah, I think I would like to read more of romantasy books than hardcore fantasy or action books, So please give this book a read if you want to get out of a reading slump. I'm telling you, you're going to get out of a reading slump like this once you start with the series. Trust me. So do let me know if you have read the Avatar series completely, or if you started with this book. So let me know your thoughts on all the books that I've recommended to you and that I've recommended to myself as well. So all together, these are all the books that I have spoken about in this video. So there are a few books that I am going to be reading, and there are some few books that you are going to be reading. You can also of course read books from the list that I've recommended for myself, and maybe then we can discuss about how you felt about the book on the comments below. How does that sound? Yeah, so do let me know if you have read any of these books. And thank you so much for watching this video. Honestly, if you've watched until now, I'm so grateful, and thank you so much for your support. And please, let's talk on the comments. I do read all your comments, and sometimes I just don't know what to respond to a few comments, so I just leave a like. But I just want to let you know that I do read all the comments, and thank you so much for such wonderful words, so much support. And yeah, you guys motivate me to read more. You guys motivate me to make more videos. You guys motivate me to, do better. So I hope I do the same for you guys. I hope that I motivate you to read, and I hope the books that I've mentioned today motivate you to read. And let's try our best to get out of this reading slump, and let's just get into different worlds. Books are magical, they're beautiful, and it's a little sad when you get into reading slump, right? So thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked this video, please press that like button, and if you want more such videos, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for all your support, all the love, all the likes, all the subscriptions, everything. So thank you. See you next week.